Boys and girls, on the table we have the greatest, well, the mini version of the greatest. This is a mini Osborne 945Bk-1. That is the designation. 945Bk-1. So it's a blue class Benchmade CPM 30V manual open, and according to Benchmade it's for EDC and outdoor use, right? So what do we know about this knife? It's iconic. So Osborne was first introduced, like the Osborne design was first introduced in 2000, year 2000, at Atlanta, Georgia knife show, and it made waves, and Benchmade has been making it ever since. It never stopped making this design, and to celebrate the 20 years of the success of Osborne, Benchmade made this mini Osborne, right? So it features a smaller blade, 2.92 inch, which is a step down from the original knife, which is 3.4 length. It keeps this unique flat ground reverse tanto blade shape of the original, however, including the top wedge that makes it easy to stick the knife in thin spaces, and the curve at the tip that makes it excellent detail slicing, you know, when you need it. The CPM 30V stainless steel composition means it can achieve and retain a sharp edge. Obviously, you know, S30V steel has been just the, you know, the ultimate knife steel for years, and it's still great. I think it's still a great steel. It's kind of like overused, some people feel, but you know, if it's a good thing, why change it, right? So it keeps a pretty good edge, and you should be able to use this knife for variety of tasks without worrying about getting it dull quickly or breaking or stuff like that, right? So this mini Osborne, it features a G10 handle, kind of like a stealthy style. You know, it's got a black blade. Keeps overall knife very lightweight. It's 2.2 ounces, which is very light, but it's small, so that doesn't feel as impressive because of the small size. But still, you know, it kind of, you know, it's what you'd expect, right? Reduced size means it's you know, it's ergonomic for small hands, I would guess, or for somebody who wants it to not show as much. You know, sometimes people don't want their knife to attract too much attention. You know, you want it to be like in a small form factor where people don't think too much of it. You know, it's got the fun blue over here, blue standoffs, and the blue liners in a G10 over there. Very nice look, very dignified. The bronze washers over there. Like if you compare it with like a full-size Griptilian, right? It's larger, you know, and the Griptilian may attract the kind of attention somewhere which you don't want. Whereas if you have something small like this, something very discreet, you know, it doesn't look threatening in most situations. Of course, still be careful, because you don't know what people find threatening or not. According to Benchmade, the Rockwell C hardness is 58 to 60 HRC. It's a manual axis lock folding system. Everybody is familiar with this, but at this point it's very ambidextrous. It's good for left or right hand users. And it's got a reversible pocket clip, which can be reversed to the other side for left-handed users, right? Of course, every Benchmade is covered with Benchmade's famous limited lifetime warranty and Live Sharp services, which means anytime you can just send it in and Benchmade will sharpen it for free. Best use, according to Benchmade, is for camping. You know, I don't know. You be the judge of that. But, you know, it will work in a camping scenario. I just think you might find something better. But, you know, you can always find something better, right? But this will do all the tasks. It feels very capable. This one particular has a straight edge, doesn't have any serrations. The overall length is 6.76, so 6 3/4, right? So that's not a lot. I'm guessing it should be like 1.5 inches shorter than the Griptilian, which puts it like really small when it comes to size. Let's compare it to something else. This is the Benchmade Narrows, which Benchmade Narrows does look a little smaller than Griptilian, even though it's kind of in the same ballpark. And you can see, you know, of course, it's a bigger size. Let's pull out something a little smaller. Here we have the Knife Steel Nerds collaboration with Buck Knives, where they made 501 Squire in Magna Cut steel. And it looks pretty much exactly like the Mini Osborne, at least in the length. The width of the blade is bigger in the Benchmade, right? You have a taller blade, right? But the length is pretty much the same, you know, with the handle the same. The width is about the same. The feel, I don't know, because of the curve or something, it for some reason the Buck feels more hand feeling for me. I don't know why, because it's got this straight edge all the way down, and it's got this curve, so it kind of fills out the hand a little bit. Because over here, this is as much as real estate as you have. You cannot go all the way with this handle, whereas this handle, you go all the way to here, where this you have to stop right here. So it feels a little shorter on the real estate. Not as hand feeling for some reason to me. I don't know. Your experience may vary. But you can see that this is the competition that it's going up against. There's also a Mini Spitfire from Buck. It has same dimensions lengthwise as this one, but it might be closer in comparison to Mini Osborne because it's got taller blade as well, maybe more ergonomically different handle. Let's compare it to Round 5. Round 5 is smaller, right? And yeah, smaller. And even though it's wider in this direction, but because it's so much shorter, you can have less fingers. So the Osborne feels more, you know, just hand feeling, to be honest. So that's the size comparison. If you want to throw in a little tiny ladybug, which is the greatest spider co ever made, of course, nobody's doubting that. So ladybug is obviously smaller, 2-inch blade versus 2 7/8 or something. No, not 7/8, 2 3/4. Anyway, yeah, this is the thing. It's very nice. For me, it's a little too small. I wouldn't I'm not in a position where I need so much discretion, and when I do, I want something like this, where it's even more discreet. Like it's this one is like covert ops, right? This is like a discreet, but if somebody sees it, they think, oh, he's trying to be discreet. You know, he's trying not to show people he's got a knife. And this looks like it could be more dangerous than what the eye can see. But this one is openly non-threatening. You know, it's like wood and brass and nerdy glasses, if somebody's gonna look close enough, right? But after all, it's just a piece of wood with some brass, you know, nothing. If you don't want threading, you can't go wrong with Buck Squire. But at the same time, you know, this is a very popular design. Every time when I go online and I show them my Benchmade collection, you know, I show them some of my knives that I have. I said, hey, which knife should I get next? Almost every time people say, get an Osborne, get a mini Osborne. You know, people love these knives. People cannot get enough of them. Once Benchmade start making this, they never stopped. And so the Osborne came in 2000, and mini Osborne came in 2020, 20 years later. So as we can see, I mean, it's a good trend. If something is very popular, why not make a mini version of it? And that's why I said, like, when I was handling the Benchmade Narrows for the first time, I felt like this is a great design. It's a long-lasting design. It's gonna stay in Benchmade's lineup forever, because to me, like with the Narrows, I felt like Benchmade created another Osborne. And sure enough, like within just a year of this full size, they created a mini Narrows, which is also $600. It's not really much cheaper. So anyway, yeah, but that's the trend. If something sells, if something is a successful model, Benchmade is going to create a mini version. Same with the Griptilian. We have a full-size Griptilian. We also have a mini Griptilian. Same is, strangely enough, with this Presidio 2. This is a full-size Presidio 2. And to me, it was like an obscure knife. I don't know if anybody has this knife. When I first held it in my hands, I was mesmerized and I had to have it. I got this knife. And as soon as I got it, turns out there's like a whole, like just underground of people, just hardcore fans of this knife. And sure enough, Benchmade has a mini version of this knife as well, and it's totally understandable. It's a great design, which I just didn't know that it was that popular or great until I actually got involved with this. Another thing you guys might know, if I can reach deep inside my pockets, we have a mini Adamas. Of course, Adamas is a very great design by Sean Siebert, which is a great knife designer. You know, the full size is a big knife, and they made a mini version of it because you know, people like it. People like the full size. People buy the mini size. I'm all for it. I think there should be things like that. You know, you get the Osborne, you get a mini Osborne. Different strokes for different folks, as they say. There's this full-size Crooked River, and it's a great hunting knife from just a classic look, very good looking, and like popular, and people like it. And there's a mini version, which actually because this knife is so big, it's bigger, at least longer than Presidio, the full-size Presidio, as you can see. And the mini version of Crooked River is actually a full-size knife. It's kind of like a Griptilian in length, right? Which I've never handled that knife. And then there are some knives that don't have a mini version. Like this is the Bailout. It's a full-size Bailout. As you can see, it's about the size of maybe just a touch longer than mini Adamas, but it's a full-size Bailout. Bailout is very closely resembling the Bug Out. And Bug Out, as we all know, is a supremely popular model in Benchmade's lineup. And Bug Out does have a mini version because it sells. So if you guys start buying lots of these Bailouts, which you guys don't do for some reason yet, we should see a mini Bailout, which I don't know if we need that. The Bailout is such an awesome knife on its own. It doesn't need any other versions. Just give this one a try sometime. Get the Grievery version because it's 2 ounces on the dot. In fact, the full-size Bailout is lighter with the Grievery scales than this mini Osborne, because this one is 2.2 ounces and this one is 2 ounces exactly. And this is impressive because this is a larger size. When you hold it, it's just unbelievable. And make sure you don't, because the aluminum version is 2.7 ounce. That's going to be more heavier than Osborne. All right, so that kind of concludes what I want to say. But at the same time, I want to open it up. I want to see what this knife is inside, and I want to clean it because it needs some cleaning. I feel like it's not opening as smoothly as it should. So if you guys want to stick around for that, that's coming up right now. So for that, we need a T6 Torx for the assembly screws, which is there's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3 for the pocket clip. And T10 pivot right here, right? So we've done this before. I'm gonna do it again. Pivot is actually holding pretty tight, which means there was some thread locker used, and I can see the residue of the thread locker over here. And that's why it's holding so well. That's what it should feel like. And then you just, we do need to take the pocket clip off completely. The pocket clip screws are supposed to be a touch longer, but I've never handled this model before. We'll see. We'll see what's happening. All the screws so far have thread locker, which is good. That's what it should be. You see thread locker? Okay. Now the pocket clip is off. And that's how you actually change the pocket clip to the other side. It's very easy to do. And now we're just gonna continue on with the assembly screws, which I think we wanna take all of them off, but yeah, I'm just gonna take them off. It's been a while. When was the last time I did this? I guess I did this with the bailout should have similar construction like this. That's when we took apart the bailout on this channel. Hopefully you guys have seen that. So right away we can see that assembly screws are shorter than the pocket clip screws. You can see that size difference over there. But they're still a T6. And they all have the thread locker there. And I believe that these are the ones that are holding the liners, the steel liners together. They might be the shortest ones because they can't go in very deep. So sometimes they come out like really short. Let's see if that's the case. And that's not the case. It feels like they're the same length as all the others. Yep. But I'm just gonna keep it separate anyway. All right, so yeah, they're all the same length, these ones. What can I feel? I very feel. Do you guys watch the fight of Usyk and Fury? God, what a great fight that was. Just top level boxing. If you're into sports. Oh my God, my heart was racing. Both fights. Just incredible to see when two people are so talented and so just on top of their game, on top of their sport, and just performing just at the highest level. going against each other, delivering epic show for us to watch. It was incredible. Anyway, that's not what this video is about. So all the screws are out. Why is it still holding? All right, so it's not holding. We can take this off. Oh, and the standoffs are going in different directions. Standoffs are, they seem to be symmetrical, are they? Huh. It's a really nice design. I like these inserts, the blue, really nice touch. Just looks nice. Very clean inside. I don't see any, it's new. Looks new. Which I was led to believe that it is. All right, so we need to take the pivot out. And then it's going to be a pain in the ass to put it back in. But I'm getting better as the time goes. Every time it's a little easier. Pivot is out. It's kind of dry. Doesn't have any... okay, we have the bronze washers. There they are. Yeah, it's super dry. That's the only issue. Other than that, it's clean. I'm just gonna clean it a little bit and put some oil, put it back together, you know, just wiping it. It's not, nothing is really wrong with this knife. There's no rust, there's no, it's pretty much new, but there's no oil, which is rare. Usually there is something. Everything is super dry and clean, like non-oily. Like they didn't put any oil during when they were putting this together. Let's just open this part because we're already in too deep. This is the hardest thing to put back together, but at the same time, oh well, oh well, oh well, oh well. Anyway, so just pull this thing through, and that's how it should come out. And then we have two of these things. They are just like virgin clean. It's crazy. I've never seen it like this. Like no sign of any kind of oil ever being on this mechanism, ever. It's dry and clean, which is good. I mean, that's nothing wrong with that. All right, so just wiping everything. Let's see. Wipe, wipe, wipe. Microfiber towel. Right, so how do we put this back together? Same way as we took it apart. Sometimes when you cannot find an exit, you should remember that it might be in the same place where the entrance was. All right, so here we are. Really nice designs. These Benchmade, these Benchmades. I like them. I like them. I like me some Benchmades. Wow, this is actually easier than other ones somehow. I don't know. Seems to be. What if I just secure this one with the assembly screw right away? Because, oops, I have stuff lying around. That's not what we want. What if I just secure it like this? That should make my life easier, right? I can always take it out, but I think that's what's gonna... Okay, so I have this one secured. And now, okay, I'm gonna start putting this pivot screw through here, right? It has a flat side which should go on top. I don't know if you guys can see, there's a flat side. And it goes towards the top part where the access lock is. That's how it should go in. Try to put it in that way. If you can. If you can. Of course I can't. Not at the moment. Oops. And now it went in. All right, so then I have to get these bronze washers back inside, and I'm gonna start oiling this, which, you know, believe you me, it will work without an oil. But, you know, we're gonna oil them. We're gonna oil it. Clearly, it was okay without oil for a long, long time. All right, so that one was oiled and in place. Now I'm putting some more oil on this blade. Just a touch, not a lot. And I'm sliding the blade inside. Oh, and I'm gonna already put the second washer. And it's gonna be held on by the oil. Oil helps in assembling. And then we just have to work it in. Right, you push the pivot in. Try to push it in. Inside the blade. You can do it. And I believe in you. I think you can. Yes, you can. Oh, no. It's not going to be so easy. I remember. You have to pull on this access lock. Yep. And so remember, every time you pull on the access lock so that the blade can go back just a touch, and then you should be able to push the pivot screw through. That's how it works every time. Here we go. And now it's all the way through. All right. So I was right. It does help you when you put that first assembly screw over there. You start assembling before you push the, you know, the pivot screw. All right. So last thing is the top scales. Oh, no. We need the standoffs. Standoffs go first. Aluminum anodized sapphire blue. Just incredible looking, very beautiful standoffs. That's what this is all about. Okay, and now we can put the rest of the scales on top. And it should be very snug. All very tight. All right, now we're putting all the assembly screws inside. I could be putting a thread locker on them, but I'm not gonna do that. Just because I don't think it's so important. But I am gonna put the thread locker on the pivot screw because that is very important. And actually there's a lot of thread locker, the old thread locker, which is not as good. Like, please don't judge me, guys. I feel it's gonna be okay. I'm giving it nice tension. Of course, if you don't like my method, do what makes you feel comfortable at home. Put as much thread locker as you feel makes you comfortable. I'm very comfortable with this. It's not gonna come out, I assure you. Just because screws have their own tension. But for the pivot screw, it's absolutely essential because you're not gonna tighten the pivot screw all the way tight, where just the tension of the screw is gonna hold it in place. That's not gonna happen, right? Otherwise you won't be able to open the blade. So it's just gonna be held in place by the thread locker. Okay. I just love this design. It is so elegant. Elegant meaning somebody like me looks at it and thinks, oh, it's so simple. So simple. But behind that simplicity, there's a lot of engineering, that, you know, the design, the people that made sure that when I handle this, I feel like it's very simple. And that's what I mean when I say elegant. It doesn't have the pivot screw in, and it's flicking very nicely. So that's where it should be flicking, you know, like there's no pivot screw, you know, but the pivot screw is gonna be in. All right, we got the thread locker here, and we got the pivot tool. Let's dip it in, and in we go. If it will go. It didn't go. Something is not having it go in there. What is it? What is it? Why is it not going in? Why? Why? Oh, it's going in. It's going in now. It's going in now. So you want to tighten it all the way, and then you want to back it out a little bit, okay? So that it's very loose, loosey-goosey, as loose as it can be without it being wobbly, you know, which is exactly what it feels right now. I'm muy happy, very happy, very happy. All right, so let's put the pocket clip. Pocket clip goes in. And we're done. We're done when that's done. I love these designs. I love all kinds of designs, but you know, these ones are always impressive to me in their elegance. It works very well. Don't overdo it, guys. Don't overdo it. Get it reasonably tight. Don't go crazy. All right, so that's it. We are done. Opens up very nicely. I might do some sharpening off of, just as part of the service. I'm gonna do some sharpening off screen, you know. It's not gonna hurt it too much. Some extra sharpening, but yeah, I mean, it's a good looking knife. Definitely good looking knife. It's a mini version of an iconic product, and that's what it is. Mini Osborne.